Lord, I come before you today with a heart that feels heavy and troubled. The weight of family conflicts has been pressing down on me, making each day feel like a struggle. I know you see the tension in my home, the words that hurt, the silence that speaks volumes, and the distance that grows between those who should be closest. Father, I'm laying all of these burdens at your feet today, trusting that you can restore what feels broken beyond repair. When I wake up dreading another day of walking on eggshells, remind me that your mercies are new every morning, and that with you, there is always hope for reconciliation and healing in my family relationships. I confess that sometimes I contribute to the problem with my own reactions, my impatience, and my inability to truly listen to those I love. Lord, you know how these conflicts trigger my anxiety, how my heart races when voices are raised, how my mind spins with worst-case scenarios, and how I lie awake replaying hurtful exchanges. I ask for your peace that passes all understanding to guard my heart and mind. Help me to breathe deeply of your presence when panic threatens to overwhelm me. When family members say things that cut deep, give me the strength not to respond in kind, but to pause and remember that hurt people often hurt people. Give me wisdom to know when to speak and when to remain silent, when to stand firm and when to yield. Help me see beyond the immediate conflict to the deeper needs and wounds that may be driving the behavior of my loved ones. Show me how to be an instrument of your peace in my home, even when I feel misunderstood or unappreciated. God, I ask for your supernatural intervention in the relationships within my family. Where there is bitterness, plant seeds of forgiveness. Where there is resentment, cultivate understanding. Where there are walls, build bridges instead. I know that true change begins with me, so I ask you to transform my heart first. Help me to love as you love, unconditionally and sacrificially. When I'm tempted to keep score of wrongs or hold on to grudges, remind me of how completely you've forgiven me. Give me the courage to be the first to apologize, the first to extend grace, the first to try again after disappointment. Lord, I surrender my need to be right, my desire to control outcomes, and my expectations of how others should behave. Instead, I want to focus on being faithful to what you've called me to be, a person who loves genuinely and serves humbly. Father, in moments when family conflicts escalate and my anxiety peaks, help me remember that you are still in control. When harsh words echo in my mind and tears threaten to fall, remind me that you collect every tear in your bottle and hear every unspoken prayer. Give me practical strategies to manage my anxiety in these moments. Whether it's stepping away to pray, writing in a journal, or calling a trusted friend. Help me establish healthy boundaries that protect my peace without building walls that prevent reconciliation. I ask for discernment to know the difference between enabling unhealthy behavior and extending grace to those who are struggling. Lord, show me how to love my family members as they are, not as I wish they would be, while still honoring the person you've created me to be. Help me to see each family member through your eyes, as precious, valuable, and worthy of respect. God, I confess that sometimes I feel so alone in these family struggles. It seems like everyone else has perfect family harmony while mine is falling apart. Remind me that no family is perfect, that every home has its challenges, and that you are working even when I cannot see it. Help me to find community with others who understand these struggles, who can pray with me and offer wisdom without judgment. When I'm tempted to isolate myself in shame or embarrassment over my family conflicts, give me the courage to reach out and be honest about my struggles. Lord, I know that healing often happens in community, so help me find safe people who can walk alongside me during this difficult season. Give me discernment about what to share and with whom, protecting both my privacy and the dignity of my family members while still allowing me to receive the support I need. Father, I pray specifically for a family member, with whom conflict seems constant. You know their heart, their hurts, their history. You understand what drives their words and actions in a way I never fully can. Give me supernatural empathy to see beyond behavior to the pain that might be underneath. Help me to respond with love even when I'm met with anger or indifference. When communication breaks down completely, teach me to speak to you about them before speaking to them about problems. Work in their heart as you're working in mine, drawing them closer to your perfect love that casts out fear. Lord, I release them into your capable hands, trusting that you love them even more perfectly than I ever could. Help me to let go of my timeline for resolution and trust your perfect timing. God, anxiety over family conflict affects me physically. The tension, headaches, the knot in my stomach, the exhaustion that comes from emotional stress. I ask for your healing touch on my body as well as my spirit. Help me to care for this temple you've given me, even in the midst of family turmoil. Remind me to rest when I need to nourish myself properly, and to move my body in ways that release tension rather than storing it. When sleep eludes me because my mind is racing with worry about my family, calm my thoughts with your promises. Help me establish rhythms and routines that support my well-being, even when chaos swirls around me. Lord, I know that I cannot pour out to my family from an empty vessel, so teach me how to receive your strength and replenishment daily. Father, I ask for wisdom beyond my own understanding when it comes to navigating these complex family dynamics. Show me when to engage and when to create space, when to address issues directly and when to surrender them to you in prayer. Give me creative solutions that I would never think of on my own, divine inspiration for breaking cycles of conflict that have persisted for too long. Help me to see patterns in our interactions that need to change, and give me courage to take the first step toward healthier ways of relating. Lord, I need your perspective that sees beyond the immediate crisis to the potential for growth and deeper connection on the other side. When I'm tempted to react based on past hurts or future fears, anchor me in the present moment with your presence and guidance. God, I pray for a transformation in how we communicate as a family. Replace accusatory you statements with vulnerable I statements. Help us to truly listen to understand rather than listening only to respond or defend. Teach us to validate each other's feelings even when we disagree with each other's perspectives. When conversations become heated, remind us to pause, to breathe, to reconnect with respect before continuing. Lord, I know that words have the power of life and death, so help our family choose words that build up rather than tear down. Give us the gift of timing, knowing when hearts are receptive and when they need space. Most of all, help us remember that love should flavor all our communication, even in moments of necessary confrontation or boundary setting. For those watching, there's a special ebook in our pinned comment called Don't Think, Trust and Surrender that can help ease anxiety symptoms related to family conflicts. Remember, this complements but doesn't replace professional guidance for ongoing family issues. Father, I recognize that some of our family conflicts stem from unhealed wounds and unmet expectations that go back generations. I ask you to break unhealthy patterns that have been passed down through our family line. Where there has been addiction, abuse, abandonment, or other trauma, bring your healing light and truth. Help us to name these painful realities without shame, and to seek appropriate help when needed. Lord, I declare that with you, new beginnings are always possible. Old things can pass away, and all things can become new. Give our family a vision for what healthy relationships could look like, and the hope to believe that change is possible. When progress seems slow or setbacks occur, remind us that healing is rarely linear but is always worth pursuing. God, in moments when I feel triggered by family conflict, help me to recognize what's happening in my body and mind before I react in ways I'll regret. Teach me to pause, to breathe deeply, and to ground myself in your presence. When anxiety threatens to overwhelm me during family gatherings or difficult conversations, give me simple practices that bring me back to center. Whether it's silently repeating a scripture, stepping outside for a moment, or simply breathing your name. Lord, I want to respond rather than react, to choose my words intentionally rather than speaking from raw emotion. Help me to be honest about my feelings without being hurtful in how I express them. Give me the courage to say, I need a moment, when I feel myself becoming flooded with emotion. Father, I pray for the children in our family who are affected by the conflicts they witness or sense. Protect their tender hearts from lasting damage. Help us as adults to be mindful of their presence, to shield them from inappropriate discussions, and to model healthy conflict resolution. When they do witness disagreements, help us to show them that people who love each other can disagree and still remain committed to each other. Give us wisdom to explain things at their level of understanding without burdening them with adult concerns. Lord, I ask that despite our imperfections as a family, our children would grow up feeling secure in our love and in yours. Help us create a home where they feel safe to express their own feelings and needs, knowing they will be heard and valued. God, I pray for special grace during family gatherings or holidays when tension often escalates. What should be joyful celebrations sometimes become minefields of old hurts and new misunderstandings. Give me strategies to prepare my heart beforehand, setting realistic expectations and focusing on gratitude rather than perfection. Help me to plan ahead for potential triggers and to have exit strategies for when I need a moment to regroup. Lord, show me how to create new traditions that minimize stress and maximize connection. Give our family moments of genuine joy and laughter that remind us of the love that remains even amidst our struggles. Help me to focus on creating memories rather than creating Instagram-perfect moments, embracing the beautiful messiness of real family life. Father, I confess that sometimes I compare my family to others and feel like we're failing. Social media shows me glimpses of seemingly perfect families, and I wonder why mine struggles so much with conflict. Remind me that I'm seeing carefully curated moments, not the full reality of anyone's family life. Help me to appreciate the unique strengths of my family, even as we work on our challenges. Lord, give me eyes to see the progress we've made, even when it feels small compared to the journey ahead. Help me celebrate tiny victories. The conversation that didn't escalate, the apology that was offered, the boundary that was respected. Give me patience with the process of family healing, knowing that meaningful change takes time and consistent effort from everyone involved. God, I pray for wisdom regarding when to seek outside help for our family conflicts. Remove any shame or stigma about reaching out to pastors, counselors, or therapists who might provide the tools and perspective we need. Give us discernment in finding the right support. People who respect our values while challenging us to grow. Lord, if financial constraints or scheduling difficulties make professional help seem impossible, show us creative alternatives or unexpected provisions. Help us to be humble enough to admit when we're stuck in patterns we cannot break on our own. I pray that if we do seek counseling, all family members would be receptive and engaged in the process. Give us courage to do the hard work of examining ourselves honestly and making needed changes. Father, when family conflicts trigger my anxiety, help me remember that you are my rock and my refuge. When human relationships feel unstable, you remain constant. When understanding from family members fails, your perfect understanding never does. Help me to build my identity and security on the unshakable foundation of your love rather than on the shifting sands of human approval or family harmony. Lord, remind me that while reconciliation is always the goal, there may be seasons where I need to entrust certain relationships to you while focusing on my own healing. Give me wisdom to know the difference between enabling dysfunction and extending grace, between healthy engagement and necessary distance. Above all, help me to find my peace in you, regardless of external circumstances. God, I pray for the courage to initiate difficult conversations when necessary, approaching them with both truth and grace. Give me words that are honest without being harsh, direct without being disrespectful. Help me to choose the right time and place, when hearts are most receptive and distractions are minimal. Lord, prepare the way for these conversations, softening hearts, including my own, before words are even spoken. Give me the humility to truly listen to perspectives that differ from mine, and the wisdom to find common ground wherever possible. When these conversations don't go as hoped, help me to trust the seeds planted rather than demanding immediate fruit. Remind me that understanding often comes in layers, and that today's difficult conversation may bear fruit in unexpected ways tomorrow. Father, I ask for your help in establishing and maintaining healthy boundaries within my family. Show me where I've allowed harmful patterns to continue by not speaking up or by accepting treatment that diminishes my worth. Give me clarity about what I can and cannot control, what is and is not my responsibility to fix. Help me to communicate these boundaries with love rather than resentment, explaining the why behind my limits when appropriate. Lord, give me strength to hold these boundaries consistently, even when faced with resistance or manipulation. Remind me that boundaries are not punishments but frameworks that allow for healthier relationships. Help me to respect others' boundaries as well, recognizing that different family members may have different needs and limits based on their own journeys. God, I pray for healing of the specific wounds that family conflicts have created in my heart. You see the words that cut deeply, the betrayals that shattered trust, the moments when those who should have protected me caused pain instead. I bring these hurts to you, asking for your divine touch on each tender spot. Where bitterness has taken root, help me to dig it out completely, replacing it with forgiveness that flows from your forgiveness of me. Where fear of being hurt again makes me build walls, help me to risk appropriate vulnerability. Lord, I know that forgiveness is a process rather than a one-time event, so give me grace for the journey. Help me to release the burden of resentment, not because what happened was okay, but because carrying this weight is only hurting me further. Father, I pray for a renewed vision of what our family could be. Help us to dream together about the legacy we want to create, the values we want to embody, and the memories we want to build. Give us glimpses of hope that motivate us to keep working through our conflicts rather than giving up. Lord, I ask that you would highlight the unique gifts and strengths that each family member brings, helping us to appreciate our differences rather than being frustrated by them. Show us how our varied perspectives and personalities can complement each other rather than clash. Help us to find activities and traditions that bring us together in positive ways, creating connections that strengthen our resolve to work through difficulties. Plant in our hearts a shared commitment to becoming a family that reflects your love to each other and to the world. God, I recognize that true peace in my family begins with peace in my own heart. When I'm anxious, stressed, or depleted, I have less patience and grace for those around me. Help me to prioritize my relationship with you, finding in your presence the calm center that steadies me amidst family storms. Teach me practices of stillness and surrender that anchor me in your love. Lord, when family conflicts trigger old insecurities or fears, remind me of who I am in you, beloved, accepted, and secure. Help me to respond from that place of identity rather than from my wounds. Give me wisdom to know when I need to step back and care for my own spiritual and emotional health, recognizing that this is not selfish but necessary for sustainable family relationships. Show me how to model healthy self-care for my family members. Father, I pray for supernatural patience as family healing unfolds according to your timeline rather than mine. When I want instant resolution but see only incremental change, help me to trust your process. Give me eyes to see the work you're doing beneath the surface, even when outward circumstances seem unchanged. Lord, sustain my hope when discouragement threatens to make me give up on difficult relationships. Remind me of times in the past when you've brought beauty from ashes and restoration from ruin. Help me to persevere in love, continuing to invest in my family relationships even when progress seems slow. Give me creative ideas for breaking through communication barriers and finding new ways to connect with family members who seem distant or resistant. God, I ask for your help in creating a culture of appreciation within our family, where we regularly express gratitude for each other rather than focusing on frustrations. Help us to notice and name the good we see in each other, to celebrate small victories, and to acknowledge efforts even when results aren't perfect. Lord, I know that what we focus on tends to grow, so help us shift our attention from what's wrong to what's right in our family. Give us eyes to see evidence of your work in each family member, and the generosity to point it out. When conflicts arise, help us to remember the broader context of our relationship, the history of good moments, the underlying love, and the shared values that remain even when we disagree on specifics. Father, as I conclude this time of prayer, I commit my family and all our conflicts into your capable hands. I trust that you are working in ways I cannot see, drawing each of us closer to your heart and therefore closer to each other. Give me patience for the process, hope for the future, and love that perseveres through every challenge. Help me to be faithful in my role while releasing the outcomes to you. Lord, I ask that you would write a story of redemption in my family that brings glory to your name and healing to our hearts. Let our conflicts ultimately serve to deepen our character and strengthen our bonds rather than destroying what we've built. And through it all, keep my eyes fixed on you, the author and perfecter of my faith, who promises to complete the good work you've begun in each of us. If this prayer has touched your heart today, please take a moment to like this video and share it with someone who might be struggling with family conflicts and anxiety. Your simple act of sharing could be exactly what someone else needs to find hope in their situation. Remember that none of us are alone in these struggles, and together with God's help, we can find the peace and harmony our families need.